It is connected. Mic check, mic check.
Who, me? My mic's on? Oh, mic check, 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Chester. Chester looked like a bottle of mustard. Oh, yes. Welcome to the Washington Football Post-Game Show. Charlotte McBride. I am Darren Haynes. And once again, they lose. The Washington football team, 30-27, thanks to a, what was it, 59-yard field goal by Matt Prater for the Lions. Wow. So that's where we are right now. So another loss, and we're going to talk about a lot of stuff, and we want you to talk about it as well at home on our Facebook page. Comment below. We're going to read your comments on how you feel about this Washington football team. What did you like about what Alex Smith did today? We all know he went through that gruesome injury back in 2018. It was his first start in 728 days. But the Lions get the victory in this one. And did you know, Charlotte, though, Washington won 10 straight games in the month of November against the Lions, and that winning streak is now over. Yeah. How do you feel about this game?
Well, we're talking about another loss, but this one really seems to hurt. They took they tied the game with 16 seconds left in regulation. So you thought at that point, wow, we're going to overtime. They've tied the game 27-27, 16 seconds left. What can possibly go wrong? Well, 16 seconds later, and it's 30-27, and they have the loss. And that's what we're talking about again. Another loss for the Washington football team. And they had that great comeback in the second half. You know, we're watching thinking, wow, they're going to do this. You have that great comeback. They were down 24-3. 24-3.
But that's the thing that we get so frustrated over, Charlotte. Why were they down 24-3? We always talk about this every single week. And, you know, head coach Ron Rivera talks about it too, Charlotte, where it's like we can't put ourselves in a position where we always have to come from behind to try to win this game. That's right. It's like Washington likes playing from behind. The problem is they just can't win the game when they're playing from behind. something has to change because they need to get off to a better start. They're the only team in the NFL that has yet to score a touchdown on their opening drive. In the first half, they've been outscored 131-69.
You're right. They're just slow. They're just slow when they come out of the gate every single game. And then we watch these amazing second half comebacks, but the comebacks just aren't enough because, as you said, when you're down 24-3, I mean, you can't just be the comeback kids every single week. I think I said that 3 weeks ago. You can't be the comeback kids every single week. And here we are saying the exact same thing again, and we're talking about another loss.
Any questions that you have, comment on our Facebook page. Is this team trending in the, hey, let's get a first overall pick in the draft? Or is this team trending in a way where they can possibly still win this division? Are we still talking making the playoffs? Comment below. Let us know your thoughts, your feelings. Did you give up on this team? We want to know. Just comment below on our Facebook page. One thing about Jonathan Allen, defensive tackle, when he talks, he does not hold back.
No, he doesn't.
And he shares his thoughts on this loss, or should I say another loss, by the Washington football team.
It's kind of been the thing of the season, you know. First of all, it's been a tale of two halves. We play a terrible first half, and we come out, we play a better second half. And the thing is, when people think why that is, they think we're doing something different or we're doing some magical plays, and there's really not any of that. It's doing your job to a higher level. It's doing the little things right. And that's ultimately what's killing us. We're not doing the little things right, and that's me included. We just got to go back to the drawing board. We got to self-analyze, and everyone's got to take responsibility for what they're putting on that film.
I thought we played well enough to win. It's just unfortunate it didn't work out that way. You know, we left, like I told the guys, we left 9 points out on the field and we gave them 3. So, you know, sometimes, you know, I tell the guys, you can't play against 2 teams on Sunday, them and us, you know, and sometimes we do ourselves in by some of the mistakes we make.
All right, so here's a look at your NFC East standings. The Dallas Cowboys, they had the bye week, but the Eagles lost to the New York Giants, Charlotte.
Wow, so the Giants are really coming alive the last few weeks.
They went from ashy to now almost classy. They're now in second place, 3-7, still behind the Philadelphia Eagles. But if you look at 1, 2, and 3, everything is really close there. And when Ron Rivera, I don't know, it felt like 7 weeks ago when he was like, we can still win this division. Despite them losing again, they can still win this division when they take on the Dallas Cowboys on Thanksgiving. They can win a divisional game there.
Right.
They still have to play the Philadelphia Eagles, and who knows who the Giants could possibly lose to. So there's still room for this team to win this particular division. But they need to win games, and one of the reasons why they don't win games, Charlotte, is because sometimes as players or the team, they make mistakes and they put themselves in a hole.
That's right. We're going to call this one a rookie mistake. Those are the exact words of Chase Young. So if you watch the game, you saw they tied up the game 27-27. We thought for sure this thing was going to overtime. But again, there were 16 seconds left. So Matt Stafford had some time to do his thing. And then Chase Young came along. A roughing the passer penalty was called. It was an interesting call. Ron Rivera said, and I'm going to quote him here, he hit him too hard, I guess. They hit our guy and knocked him to the ground and didn't get a penalty. Just a little inconsistent. So Ron Rivera not liking that call, but it is what it is. He did hit him. We did see the play, but that's 15 yards. So that gave them 15 yards, and that was enough to get them in field goal range then. And as we know, Matt Prater hit that 59-yard field goal, and there you go, ball game. The Detroit Lions win. It's a frustrating moment for Chase Young. He was frustrated after the game, of course, as well, and he just called it, you know, a rookie mistake. It's tough to see something like that, but his players, you know, they don't blame him for a loss. You can't blame one play. You can't blame one move for a loss.
Well, for all the fans at home on our Facebook page, do you feel like Chase Young is to blame? Because it was on that drive that led to that game-winning field goal by the Lions. If Chase Young didn't commit that particular foul, they wouldn't be in field goal range. So. Right. Do you blame Chase Young? I say no.
No.
I mean, this is it's a long game. I can blame everybody. I can blame the Washington offense for not scoring in the first half.
Right.
I can say it's the defense's fault for allowing them to have 24 points and make it a 24-3 game. So there's so many people that you can blame. There's no I in team, and there's no Chase Young either. So.
And, you know, speaking of blame, Kenyon Weems just wrote on our Facebook page, maybe it's not all the players. When we do shift the blame to some of the coaches, when should we start blaming?
We're starting to blame coaches now. Who that is? What's his name?
Kenyon Weems.
Keenan. Do we blame the coaches? So I'm gonna take his comment and I'm gonna say no, not as of right now. And the reason why I'm not going to blame the coaches is because when you have a new coach taking over a new particular team, you have to mold this team to fit what you really want. And sometimes there are people who are stuck in their old ways, and you have to break those old ways. I had a football coach tell me that some people are like clay, some other players are like rocks. The ones who are built like clay, you can mold them in the way you want them to be, and then you have those players who are like a rock, and they don't want to change their ways. So it's going to take time. I think maybe next year, maybe 3 years, well, not 3 years, but Ron Rivera's third year, if we're still going through this and we're having this particular conversation, yeah, it's got to be on Ron Rivera. But there needs to be improvement next year because if they have a season like this next year, yeah, that conversation is going to come up. What do you think, Charlotte? Yeah,
I don't think you could put the blame really on that right now. I think it is what it is. You know, he had the hit, he roughed the passer. It happens. I mean, on the flip side, if Washington had won this game and you look at Washington's final drive there with Alex Smith driving them down the field, and there were those two huge calls against Detroit, those pass interference calls, you know, we could be talking about a different situation where those Detroit players and in that locker room, they'd be blaming those guys, the pass interference call. So, you know, this is just one of those things where, yeah, it was called. He did it. He admitted he did it. It's one play at the end of the game, but it's not the game changer. There's a lot that went on in that game.
Forget what we have to say. Here's Chase Young on the hit, and Jonathan Allen, like I mentioned before, when he talks, you listen.
Rookie mistake. Got to go back to drawing boards and you know, make the corrections. You know, new week, new opportunity. Chase is an amazing player, and he's going to be a great player for the Redskins for a long time to come. I haven't met one person in this NFL who's ever played perfect. I haven't met one person who's never made a mistake. It is what it is. He didn't lose us the game. I promise you that. And that's what I want to tell him. He did not lose us the game. There was too many things that happened that we shouldn't have been in that situation. And I feel for him because I just know people are going to try to put this game on him, and it's not on him. He played an amazing game. He played a good game. He made a mistake. I made mistakes. We've all made mistakes in this game.
Well, we're definitely not going to blame Chase Young. And another guy you just cannot blame for this loss at all is quarterback Alex Smith.
Wow.
I mean, 728 days since his last start. He had that horrific leg injury against the Houston Texans in November. It was probably almost about 2 years to the day. But he had a career game. I mean, career passing yards. He also had career completions. It was 390 passing yards and 38 completions, both career high in his first start in forever. He also was 5-0 coming into against Detroit. He was 5-0 against them. Now he's 5-1. But Alex Smith, I mean, where do we start, Charlotte?
It's pretty incredible.
It's an incredible story that we were so nervous when he first got his first opportunity to now it's like, what? Wait, he had that kind of injury and now you set a career high?
We almost forget about that injury. Watching him today and how mobile he was, and he took a few hits, but how he was moving the ball, especially in the second half, we're just watching a starting quarterback in the NFL. For a few moments, I forgot that we're watching the same guy who almost not only lost his leg, but lost his life 2 years ago with that horrific injury. But now he is back on the field throwing nearly 400 yards in an NFL game. That's incredible.
This is a guy who was a first-round pick, I believe it was maybe 2006. Like, you can expect something like this from Alex Smith when he was with the 49ers, you know, maybe in 2009 or 2010. But the dude is like almost 40 years old, and like you said, Charlotte, he almost lost his leg. And like I mentioned, first start in 728 days, and you set those type of career numbers. What blows my mind, though, is this. When you almost lose your leg, people were so concerned and nervous that you could get yourself hurt again, and you do what you did, and you're like, you know what, after all that dang on leg gotta be sore, it's gotta hurt. And then Alex Smith says this.
I think that was the scary part, is how normal it felt. I think it's the scary thing. Yeah, it felt really good, felt really normal. You know, and a little bit I gotta pinch myself, how lucky I am to feel that way. You know, and I am lucky that it's progressed this far, and I am where I am, because certainly a lot of people with similar injuries aren't as lucky. So
he feels good. He's not sore. He said the leg's not sore. And just to see what he did in that second half, he was frustrated that he said, you know, they were driving the ball in the first half. We saw them go down the field a few times in that first half. And when he looked at that score going into the locker room, 24-3, he thought, that just doesn't reflect what I've been doing. So he changed some things, and they put some points on the board in the second half. And a lot of those points coming from Antonio Gibson, 2 rushing touchdowns today.
Yeah, 2 rushing touchdowns. Here's the thing about it. He has now rushed for he's now scored in 3 straight games, and then 6 out of the last 8 games for the Washington football team. How many times have I mentioned on this show that I love this dude? Like
a lot.
and he keeps getting better and better. I was so concerned at first. I'm like, why are they not involving Antonio Gibson in the offense more at first? And I was getting frustrated. Like, the running backs, I always feel, and I'm not biased because I was a running back in the past, but like, we set the tone. Give us the rock, let us set the tone. You set the running game, you open up the passing game. Give Antonio Gibson the rock. I don't care if he was a receiver at Memphis. The dude knows how to play running back now. He's an NFL caliber running back. Give him the ball. And when you give him the ball, you give him the rock, or what we used to say, give him the pill, he finds a way to get into the end zone. I don't care if it's a short carry or long carry. He did his job.
And, you know, we saw from a lot of guys today, there wasn't just one guy that was a superstar. Yes, Alex Smith had an amazing day. Yes, we saw 2 touchdowns from Antonio Gibson, but the offense as a whole, they were clicking with Alex Smith. Let's see, he threw to McLaurin, he threw to Logan Thomas, he threw to Sims, he threw to McKissick. Yeah, he's throwing to a bunch of different guys, and he's connecting with a bunch of different guys.
Well, one of the guys he connected with, well, he had maybe hand the ball off to, was J.D. McKissick. I mean, you look at some of these former players that you know, we'll get to Adrian Peterson in a little bit, who now plays for Detroit, but J.D. McKissick was a guy who played for the Detroit Lions, and Ron Rivera, he was mentioning, he was like, of course we're going to like get all the secrets, all the notes from the other team. Like, this is a way we can take advantage to try to win this football game. And J.D. McKissick found his way into the end zone as well. There was also a time, I believe it was like 4th and 13, and people were like, why are you going for it on 4th and 13, Ron Rivera? And then he finds that guy, number 82, Logan Thomas, who also played for Detroit last year. So you have 2 players who used to play for Detroit stepping up big in this game.
That's right. Yeah, Logan Thomas, 4 catches, 66 yards. And you mentioned that touchdown there for McKissick. Those 2 guys, they were making a huge difference. And Coach Ron Rivera thought they would do just that. As you mentioned earlier this week, he said, that's a big deal. These guys can give us all the insight that we need, and we're going to go to them. And they want nothing more than to look good against their former team. And yeah, the same goes for Adrian Peterson.
Yeah, Adrian Peterson, you know, we had the interview with him earlier this week, and here's what he had to say before today's game. What's the mindset, man, when you put on that Lions helmet and you take on your former team on Sunday?
Of course, there's a little chip there, you know, just to be like, hey, you know, just get to realize what you let go, you know. You know, so, you know, I'll be lying to you to say that chip isn't there.
So Adrian Peterson played with the chip on his shoulder. It was still kind of weird to see him in a Lions uniform. And but it was good to see that legendary running back that Washington once had play again. But what surprised me, or actually didn't surprise me, he didn't start this game. I mean, he was a starting running back at the beginning of the season, but some running back from the University of Georgia, and I don't know why all these good running backs from the University of Georgia. There's sports anchors that come out of the University of Georgia as well. The one right here in the Brady Bunch box. But what is it about Swift? I guess he's that good to take Adrian Peterson's spot, I guess.
He is that good. I think we saw today that he was that good. 16 carries, 81 yards, and then he also had those 5 receptions for 68 yards. DeAndre Swift, especially at the end of the game, he was plowing through those linebackers. They could not stop him. DeAndre Swift having a game. I mean, he and Matt Stafford, they were definitely connecting as well.
That's enough of the Georgia stuff.
Boys.
That's enough of the Georgia stuff. That's enough of the Georgia stuff. Until y'all win the college football playoff, you only get 30 seconds to talk about Georgia. You only get 30 seconds to talk about Georgia. Let's go to Oklahoma, because that's where Adrian Peterson played. And Adrian Peterson was the starting running back when Alex Smith got his last start. And Alex Smith, when he got hurt during that Houston Texans game, I can remember being there and seeing Adrian Peterson, one of those guys, saying, come over, because Alex Smith was hurt. So those two have a strong relationship. Of course, Alex Smith, a great quarterback in this league, Adrian Peterson, a future Hall of Famer. And they had the opportunity to meet before the game and after the game. And here's what Alex Smith had to say about meeting his former teammate.
Obviously, Adrian and I are really close, and you know, it was amazing. I got to see him before the game too, and really kind of talk it up then. But just obviously, there's a bond. That's what's special about this game when you do, you know, go through the ups and downs, and that, you know, that come with this game. You grow close, and there's a bond there that I think it lasts a lifetime. And certainly, you can see guys that you haven't seen in a while, and a lot of memories and emotions come back. And you know, I don't need to go on about obviously Adrian's, you know, talent, ability, but certainly him as a person, how much I enjoyed playing with him, learning from him, and just the human that he is. So it was great to see him today.
So obviously a great bonding moment between those two legendary players. But can we go back? Can we look at Alex Smith's suit? Like, what was up with that? Melissa, can you bring that up possibly? I'm wondering, like,
obviously.
Like, it's like blended in. What's going on here, Charlotte?
Oh, I think he's got a green suit maybe, or some green, because we call it keyed out. So when you're up against a green screen and they're projecting something similar to our meteorologist, and you're wearing the same color as the screen behind you, well, you can kind of see through.
So he's not rocking Washington football like gear right there. That's not him?
No, I think he's just being see-through. That's the thing.
So the see-through suit is a new thing. We have a new thing here called suited or booted. And what do you think? Alex Smith, does the see-through suit, suited, booted?
We're going to have to boot that, Alex.
Yeah, boot that.
No more green on game day.
Yeah, he can't wear green on game day. He has to get that memo. I don't think he got the memo.
Right. He's probably not used to doing all of these, you know, post-game pressers.
But yes, suited or booted. So what we're going to do is here, and make sure you comment on our Facebook page. We want to hear your reaction. We have two players from the Washington football team before the game. They were rocking some gear as they got ready to go to Detroit, or maybe when they arrived in Detroit.
This is when they left Washington and were heading to Detroit.
So when they left Washington. So we want to know, suited or booted? You can start it off, Charlotte. Suited or booted for this one?
This is Thomas Davis. Y'all, look at this complete outfit here. We have the red Gucci luggage. We have the red suit. We have the Christian Louboutin shoes. We got the bling bling. We got the red and black matching hat. I mean, I see a lot of red and black. Go Dogs. Thomas Davis, of course. A Georgia Bulldog. This is, I mean, this is fresh.
See, all right. So one thing a lot of like my family members, they always joke with me about, listen, I'm not cheap, but I buy what I need, not what I want. And that's one of those things where it's like, I look at it, that looks fresh, that looks dope. I like that. But that's like, how much money is all that right there? That's a lot. That's a lot of money to go to a game to lose. And Thomas Davis, he doesn't get that much playing time at all. I mean, I guess because they all have that saying, you look good, you play good, but you got to play, my man. This is not a crack versus him. This is just the young players that.
But he looks great. This is just.
It is too much red though.
There's never too much red. Never too much red.
It's way too much red. It looks like Little Red Riding Hood.
How about Thomas Davis? If you're watching, he's the one dissing. I'm all about it.
I mean, listen, if you like what you're wearing, that's fine. You have all that high-end stuff. Me, I'm rocking this Men's Warehouse blazer. That's all I got. Another guy, Chase Young, suited or booted. Oh, wait, hold on. Before we even go there.
Okay.
Suited or booted for Thomas Davis?
Oh, suited.
Suited?
Suited. I'm
going to go suited as well. Because if I had all that stuff, I'll probably rock it too. I just wouldn't rock the luggage, though. I wouldn't have the red luggage. My luggage would probably be black. All right, next player, suited or booted, y'all. Comment on our Facebook page. This is your rookie out of DeMatha High School, local guy, defensive end for your Washington football team, Chase Young. And I'm looking at a plaid Steve Harvey long style blazer there with the sneakers, like he's about to go play basketball.
No. Yeah, the sneakers and the pants, it's like you almost had it going with the plaid. Okay, I get it. It's fall. You got the plaid long coat on. He's got that Louis Vuitton luggage right there. But then all of a sudden, what's going on the bottom half? What's going on? You got some legging situation with a sneaker.
I mean, the pants, that's the style, though. You know, that's a style that's coming out.
It doesn't go with the sneaker. The sneakers don't go with the outfit.
Maybe he wants to use those pants to highlight the sneakers. Maybe he doesn't want you to look at his pants that are so high like he's walking through the Mississippi River. Maybe he just wants you to see the shoes. It's got to be the shoes. The problem is the blazer is a Steve Harvey style blazer. It's too long and it's New York Knicks colors. And as a fan who grew up as a New York Knicks fan, knowing how trashy they play right now, that I go boot it to Chase Young's blazer. I love Chase Young, but I'm going to boot it. I'm going to boot it.
I'm going to boot it to the outfit.
I'm going to punt it. I'm going to punt it up out of here.
He just pulled a hammy right there. We'll see Darren later.
But yeah, so comment on our Facebook page. Thomas Davis, suited or booted, rocking all red. And then Chase Young, you saw rocking the long blazer, the plaid blazer with the sneakers. Comment on our Facebook page. We're going to check them out in just a little bit. But one receiver who had a great game yesterday, last week, and made some decent catches today was Cam Sims. I mean, what an amazing story for him, who was that practice squad player. And now he's part of the rotation and really almost like solidifying why he should be in
he absolutely is. Yeah. So last week he had over 100 yards. This week he had 4 big catches on 54 yards. And yeah, he's coming through in those big plays, those moments, the third down plays, even the fourth down plays. He's the one coming through with those big catches. Alex Smith and him really connecting. And earlier this week, Alex Smith talked about Cam Sims. He was all smiles and he said, I like that guy. That guy and I are clicking. I like working with that guy. And I think really that's solidifying Cam Sims' role as part of this offense.
I like learning more about Cam Sims.
He's an interesting guy.
Here's Rapid 9 from earlier this week with Cam Sims.
Rapid 9, sponsored by Toyota.
Cam Sims, Rapid 9. Who would you rather not give the keys to your car to? Anybody from the Washington football team roster?
Ryan Anderson and Deron Payne off rip.
If you did give the keys to him, what do you think your car would look like when it comes back?
I wouldn't have a car. Like, it would be total.
If you can switch bodies with anybody from this team, live their life for one day, who would you pick?
Probably be Payne.
So if you're Deron Payne for a day, would you let yourself, who is Deron Payne, drive your car?
If it was me, yeah, I would. But if it was Payne, no.
If you could pick one player from this team that you can just get the ball and just run over, just truck him, who would that player be?
Deron Payne. Because he think he can hit everybody. And I know for a fact, if I get the ball, I'm going to run him over.
Have you ever hung up on somebody but told them that you lost service as an excuse?
I do it all the time. I can't lie about that. I'll probably do it later on today, to be honest.
You're stranded on an island. You can only pick between one of these 2 articles of clothing, a Giants jersey or a Cowboys jersey.
I'm going to have to go no shirt. Because if somebody see me on that stranded island or come rescue me, I can't be seen in a Cowboys jersey or the Giants jersey.
All right, so this is now the best time of the show.
The best time.
And the best time is because we involve you, the viewers. And I'm reading some of these comments so far that we're going to talk about, Charla, and it kind of makes me sad because you have these fans. For an example, Bruce Mort, who says, how many more years do we have to suffer? And I guess my reaction, or to answer your question, how many more years do we have to suffer? I'm going to say just this year. And the reason why I'm going to say just this year, like I mentioned before, Ron Rivera is going to mold this team the way he wants them to be. And then you have a lot of these young guys, which he is so excited about. They're getting all this experience right now. Next year will be their sophomore year, and especially some young guys who are hurt. It should be a better season.
And you know what? I'm going to go off of what you said with Ron Rivera here molding those young guys into the team that he wants it to be. He did the exact same thing in Carolina. They came off that losing season, and the very next year, they were 15-1 and went to the Super Bowl. Not saying that's happening. Not saying that's happening.
No. Say it is going to happen. Speak it into existence. Speak it into existence, Charla. Speak it into existence.
Okay,
say it's going to happen.
I am speaking into existence. We will roll on this tape. They're going to the Super Bowl.
No, I can't hear you. The people at home can't hear you. The viewers, the Facebook
Darren
Live
would like
people.
me to tell you that they're going to the Super Bowl next year.
Who's going to the Super Bowl?
The Washington football team.
All right, digital editor, make sure we save that as well so we can roll this next year when the Washington football team makes it to the Super Bowl.
I'm only saying off of Ron Rivera, what he was able to do with Carolina, what he was able to do in developing young players, one of those young players being Cam Newton, and then able to take that team from a losing season into a 15-1 season and headed to the Super Bowl. It was something that many did not predict. And you know, he made it to the highest level, and he seems pretty confident in all of the young guys that he drafted, all the young guys that he's starting, all these young guys that he's molding to make it to his team. So this year, not so great. But hey, let's stick with it.
And we're going to the Super Bowl next year. Charlotte said it.
Well,
Charlotte said it.
Really.
But you know what? she's going to be the happiest woman in the world if they do make it to the Super Bowl. She'll be all in my face. I told you so. I told you're going to make the Super Bowl. Roll the tape back in 2020. All right, so let's get another comment. Gregory Wilson says the Washington football team will win next week against a high school team.
Oh, okay.
That's a prediction. He spoke that into existence. They wouldn't. They wouldn't. They would destroy a high school team. All right, so we have Michael Harley. Michael Harley says, I gave up on them last year after over 50 years of following them, and I have seen some terrible years in the 60s. My blood pressure can't do it anymore. I do wish the best for them.
Aww.
So let's talk about.
We want to give you a reason to believe again.
You got to think about it though. It's been a long time. It's been early 90s since they won a Super Bowl.
The guy that just said that?
His name is Michael Harley.
Okay, Michael, you remind me of my friends who are Jets and Mets fans. I bet they're right there with you. Just saying.
It's pretty rough to be a Jets and Mets fan. Mets, they had that Subway Series back with the Yankees. Yeah, but then when they won, back in the 80s.
Well, we won't even get started there. But
you got to go back to like Joe Namath, man.
Yeah, if you're a Jets fan, I feel
like Joe Namath.
But they're getting
the
close.
Millennials don't know who Joe Namath even is. I'm a millennial. I know who he is, but you get my point. All right, so Verdice Stribling says, no name, new players, new coach, same stadium, same colors, same owner, same results. Pitiful. I can't root for them anymore.
Oh.
I told you these were sad.
But there was hope today, right? You know what?
So,
wait, do I
you're
say
so
that
inspiring.
every week? I say that every week, and that is getting frustrating. Every week I say,
speak your mind.
This was a tough loss.
Tell the people
but
how
there
you
was
really
hope.
feel.
I'm tired, and I feel like I'm with a lot of you, of feeling that hope, feeling that excitement when they tied the game with 16 seconds left and thinking, yes, this is our week to win. And then, dun, 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 we're here talking about another loss. It's frustrating. The frustrations are starting to boil over, and I think that's what we're seeing from many of you on Facebook, many of you on Twitter. Just, it's hard to be a fan.
Many of you for the last 20-something years, even though Facebook and Instagram and Twitter didn't exist back in the 90s. AOL Instant Messenger, maybe, late 90s.
Oh, yeah.
Maria Allen says, I'm so mad. Alex Smith needs help. We need a running back and a wide receiver. Can I go on this one? Can I go on this one? All right, listen here, Maria. Thank you so much for commenting, but I'm going to say you are so wrong. Because Alex Smith does have weapons. He has a guy by the name of Terry McLaurin. He has some young guys like Cam Sims. These are young guys who will get better. Antonio Gibson, what did we mention now? He scored how many touchdowns now?
Two today.
Two touchdowns in this game. Scored in 3 straight games. Think about it next year, Maria Allen. Think about these weapons, these young weapons, who Terry McLaurin is only in his 2nd year. Antonio Gibson is still taking his biology class in college. Like he's only a rookie. It's gonna get better.
And Chase Young is also, even though she wasn't mentioning him, but Chase Young's also a rookie. He made what he called himself a rookie mistake at the end. Again, he's a rookie. He's learning. You know, these things happen.
So I'm gonna end it with one more. Not the Bruce Moore. How many years do we have to suffer? So LeAnthony Day says, I also feel like this team is not making this season serious because of COVID-19, the changing of this name, and the crisis.
I disagree with that.
Yeah, I disagree
I think
as
they're
well.
taking this very seriously. It's the NFL. They want to win. They still have a chance to win their division. Yes, say it with me. They have 2 wins, but they have a chance to win the NFC East. Not just a chance. The team in first place only has 3 wins. It's very close. There's still a lot of football to be played.
So a lot of football to be played, and the next game they have is against the Cincinnati Bengals, which is a sorry team as well.
Right.
And we're going to have our predictions before we wrap this up. Thank you so much for commenting on our Facebook page. We're not done. We're going to continue to read some comments, and we're going to reply to you as well. So continue to comment.
And you mentioned the Cincinnati Bengals. They're the next team up, and we've talked about this in previous weeks, that this schedule is really on their side. They don't have a very difficult schedule. They're facing other teams who are struggling.
They just have a very difficult team winning, Charla.
Yes, they do.
They play sorry teams, but they lose to the sorry teams, Charla.
Yes,
They're supposed to
Darren.
beat Detroit, who seemed to just lose against everybody else before this week, Charla.
True. Detroit hadn't won at home all year.
The Giants were sorry, bottom of the barrel in the NFC East, and they lost to them too, Charla.
And the Giants' leading rusher is Daniel Jones.
Charla.
Yeah. No, I know.
So our prediction then, because I know what I'm going to say. Who you want me to go first this time?
Is this the
it's
prediction
usually ladies,
for next week?
It's ladies first, but do you want me to go? Because I know you went first last week.
You can go first, Darren. Take it away.
All right, I'm going to go. I'm only doing this because you're only as good as your last game, and I'm only going by the way this Washington football team plays and how slow they start every single particular game. I don't care how sorry the Cincinnati Bengals are. I wish I had their record, but I think they only have maybe 2 wins this season as well,
so.
unless they won today. The Cincinnati Bengals are not good. However, the Washington football team is struggling, so I'm going 24-17.
Uh-oh.
You got to let it breathe.
Okay.
24-17 Cincinnati Bengals.
Okay, that's your prediction.
Digital editor, make sure you save that so when they lose, we can roll this tape.
Now, as you know, last week, I picked Washington to win. When there were 16 seconds left in this game, I was thinking, all right, time to gloat a little bit. No, I'm not gloating. You won. You predicted them to lose. So you're predicting another loss next week. But you know where this is going. I do have hope. I am frustrated, but my hope outweighs my frustrations.
Speak your mind. Tell us how you feel. Can we roll some do we have the Where's the Love music while she's going? If you have the Where's the Love music, play the Where's the Love music. Okay, we don't. But go ahead, speak your mind. Let the people know how you feel.
My hope outweighs my frustrations. And you're talking about how they played and how they ended this game. They ended this game with a solid drive down the field with their new starting quarterback, Alex Smith, to tie this game after being down 24-3. They showed that they can come back. They showed that they can put a full game together and do something correctly. Yes, they happened to lose by a 59-yard field goal in the end. But
keep going.
I think that they are going to beat the Bengals. They are going to win next week. Yes.
Speak your mind.
I'm speaking my mind. I think Alex Smith is going to get that win that he has wanted for so long as a starting quarterback. This is really intense music. And I think he's going to use all of his weapons, similar to what he started doing today. He's going to use Cam Sims. He's going to use Terry McLaurin. He's going to use Antonio Gibson. He's going to use the big guy, Logan Thomas. It's going to be a complete team effort. It's going to be a complete team win. Chase Young is going to come through with 3 sacks. I'm calling it. And they're going to win this game.
Let me stop the music because I don't think we own the rights to that song.
I'm saying 24-17.
I felt the mood there.
Win.
24-17.
Win.
I felt that mood, though. I was inspired by that so much that I may flip and say Washington's going to win next week. Psych. That's going to wrap it up, though. That was very heartfelt. I appreciate that. Shout out to you,
try to pump them up. It's going to happen.
They try to pump them up every single week. All right, that's going to wrap up our show. Once again, the Washington football team, they lose. This time it's 30-27 to the Detroit Lions.
Wait, I will say this.
Wait.
The good news from today. The best news from today, for those who've been watching our show every week, Darren did not pick up a trash can. He did not say anything about the team being trash. So these are all improvements.
But
they have improved.
I could go into my own
There is no trash can.
Listen, it's been really tough for this Washington football team to win. And I know they go out there every single day to try to get that W. And when they look at that alphabet, for some reason, the only letter that pops out is an L. But they know this week they're going to go to their park and step up their game. But I know when they hit that football field against Cincinnati, they're going to replay this tape, digital producer, and know that they lost again. I'm going to wrap this up.
All right.
All right. Yeah, let's wrap this up. All right, y'all. We'll see you next week when the Washington football team takes down the Bengals, and hopefully it'll be hopefully it'll be a win, not another loss.
There we go.
I'm Darren Haynes. That's Charlotte McBride. Thanks, y'all.